Do you think there'll be a time where the remote working kind of goes away? That people don't do that no more?
I think we might hit a point where it might dip. But when they see the dip, they're going to notice it's going to plateau on people trying to come back. So they're going to drop people, and then they're going to say, you need to come back to the offices, or they're going to be like, we want office workers. They're going to notice they're going to struggle filling those desks at their offices. And as soon as they offer remote work back, I think they're going to get a big rise. The only other reason I would think that we would be losing remote workers is because technology replaced their jobs.
Because did you see like the email that, I mean, it was a couple months ago that Elon sent to his people? He's like, no more remote workers. You're coming in here or we don't need you anymore.
Well, I mean, he's not really a human being, so.
What do you mean?
He's a robot?
Yeah.
He's an alien or what?
Or something, but he doesn't act very nice.
You don't think that's nice? People telling you for the person that's paying you to run the business to tell you to show up?
Well, especially when your original hiring contracting said otherwise. Like you set your whole life with this set up, and then all of a sudden you're like, no, you need to come into the office 600 miles away from where you live. It doesn't make sense.
But then him as a business owner, because I look at it from his perspective, it's like that's like what they agreed upon when they like signed up or whatever. But then he has a right to be able to adjust how he wants his business run.
That is true. He does have the right to run the way that he wants to run his business. It's his business now. And he might have been coming into this in a situation where he needs to make the business profitable, and it was probably not profitable because of the previous owners weren't maintaining it in a way that was profitable. And so he's taking what he's done in his other businesses and is creating a more profitable business.
For which one are you talking about? For Tesla? He's had Tesla for a while.
Yeah, and it's profitable.
So, but I mean, when it went remote working, when there was COVID, everything like, okay, remote working. And then he said, so that's the whole thing. Would you rather have 100 employees and then 70 of them are just not cutting it, you know? You're not cutting it. You can really get this work done with 40. So are you going to keep, paying that? Once we go back to like the whole thing, it's cost. So it's like, you're like, okay, if I get rid of 60 of these people, like these 40 can cut it and they're all willing to come here. Like, dude, why would I want the other 60?
No, that's a great business decision to make, especially if you're more concerned about the profit side of it. You want to reduce the amount of cost because having more employees is actually more risk because now you're paying those benefits. And then if they do anything that's considered problematic, then you have to deal with that. So like human resource issues, and you're paying for more of that. And yeah, there's a huge cost association with that. And
so we go back to then it is okay for you to do that, right?
I think it is okay to do it. It's just the method on way of doing it. You don't just send a mass email out saying you're fired.
No, he didn't say you're fired. He said show up.
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
It's hard to show up when you're 600 miles away from the nearest office.
I mean,
but
if they're telling you to show
in that situation, they were in person in the office, and then COVID happened, and then
they went home,
moved away.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've heard instances where they got hired during COVID and told them that they were going to have a remote position permanently and that they could live anywhere they would like. And then this decision got changed because there was a different person making the decisions. And I don't think he considered that the pool of people that are in that is probably really, really small. So the risk of making that business decision is quite small. So it sucks for the individuals, but it was probably the best business decision for him to make for, I guess now, X.
No, so you're talking about Twitter, it's not Tesla. That's we just went on. That's a whole different company.
Yeah.
But he still owns it, but that's a whole different subject, on that. But I still don't agree with that. That like, if you have this, you should be able to do your own decisions. That's why you started a business to begin with, to have your own set of rules, it's the free market to do your stuff. Mm-hmm. And then now you can't do a certain thing because XYZ person's gonna say this, or this person's their feelings are gonna get hurt because you told them to show up now. I don't know. I don't think that's right.
I think for small businesses, my bad.
Hello. Tell me you're on lunch.
You're almost done, Dan.
Tell me you're
Dan, he's almost done.
Actually, my watch said it was potential spam, so.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. My apologies, I forgot to mute it.
It's all good.
Yeah. Let's see. I think for small businesses, yeah, they should have full control over that because they need to make the best decision for their business because that's their livelihood, right? But when you become a very large company, you're potentially going to be messing with over thousands of people's lives making one decision. So you need to make a decision that's not going to backfire on you.
I don't think it backfired on him, honestly. I don't think it did. You got to do the best decisions. Doesn't matter if you're running. I know what you're saying. For smaller business, big, I don't think it's still. You got to do the best decision that's for the business. Because at the end of the day, if the business is not profiting, if it's not making money, it's not a business.
Yeah. The ways that he's done it, it's more focused to California because California is way overregulated on this subject. But it backfired on him because of California and the way they do their laws.
He just moved his office. He doesn't care. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the fact that he moved all the offices, he had to pay a big penalty for that. Now, was that a bit? So it comes down to, was it a cost-effective business decision? Is it cheaper for me to pay all the fines, or is it cheaper just to keep all the people?
But but then it's the energy.
But that's also like an investment into like where you want your company to be.
Yeah.
A business is in the long run. Like,
yeah,
you got to think the future, not right now.
Because technically it might be a cost, but if you think about it, it's more of an investment for the business for the future.
Yeah,
you got to get out of that place and not have to pay attention to those regulations, those fines, and all that stuff.
Because like we know, we're a business. Like, you got those energy suckers in the room. Like, you're like, do I keep this guy or should I just, I might lose a little bit of money letting this guy go, but
in the long run, it's going to help a lot more people.
You got to see where we go into the next year. Where I see my business a year from now, 3 years from now.